with a big bang.
Hello, mamas. I'd like to talk about the most annoying specimen on the planet of Earth. That hopefully will not even be on Earth anymore. We'll hopefully go on a rocket to a different planet. One can only hope. And it brings me no joy really talking about this person, but I think we're in a point in society and a point in this person's career trajectory that we have to have a serious conversation and sit down and talk about this monstrosity of a bacteria that has taken human form. Elon Musk. No one has burnt through their public favor as fast as this man. It's truly insane. You don't have to look back very far to get to a time period where Elon Musk was, dare I say, cool. And Elon Musk was awesome. This was probably even 3-4 years ago. You could get a high five if you said that you looked up to Elon Musk, if he was like your inspiration, if he was your kin, if you kinned Elon Musk, if you kinned him literally 3 years ago, it wouldn't even have been a problem. Now, holy moly, where to even begin? I know where to begin. I'm going to give you a whole quick compendium of the trajectory of his career. From my point of view, where I first discovered him, where I first ever heard his name was when I would watch that show, The Big Bang Theory, which was this cute, charming little show about these nerds that lived, they were comic book fun little nerds that lived in I think Berkeley, California or something. And they would have guest stars. The show ran forever, y'all. The show literally did 18 seasons. This is what Young Sheldon is based off of. They did 18 seasons of The Big Bang Theory, and then did an entire spin-off show about one of the characters, and they're doing a spin-off of that spin-off show. But Young Sheldon is actually kind of good. That's a conversation for another day. Anyways, one day I remember watching this, and they had a guest star on, and they would mention this guy all the time, named Elon Musk. They would mention him. He would come up in their conversations, and they kind of idolized him. And then one day he shows up on the show as a guest star, and everyone's like, it was a big moment for Big Bang Theory Nation. And then from there, I was like, who is this person that they're literally dick riding so hard, 8 inches up? I'm sorry. And I researched him, found out that he didn't make Tesla, but bought Tesla when it was forming as a company. So he didn't invent it or anything, but came on pretty early. Also runs the space company SpaceX, which does rockets, which was cool as fuck. Let's face it, Elon Musk was probably the coolest billionaire in the 2010s, I would say, which is very hard to say because, billionaires typically get their fortune in very not cool ways. And just the very existence of a billionaire is pretty much not cool when there are people that are eating basically fucking dirt. So then I did more research. Elon Musk was born in South Africa, moved to, fun fact, Canada, and not anywhere in Canada, Saskatchewan, Canada, where much of my family is from, so ew. And then moved to the U.S. But what's really funny, especially in the current position that Elon Musk is in right now, and aligning himself with the current administration, which loves immigrants so much, Elon Musk actually moved to the U.S. on a work visa, which he overstayed, which makes him ineligible and technically an illegal immigrant in a lot of different ways. The whole can of worms with that. Anyways, what really made Elon Musk cool to me was in, I want to say 2016, when basically no electric cars existed. I never had seen any on the road. I started seeing Teslas on the road, and it was the craziest thing. The concept, I know the concept of an electric car is very common now. You go to places like California, and every second car is a goddamn Tesla or some other electric car. I have an electric car, but literally in 2016, and 10 years ago, they were so rare, and just the concept of like plugging your car in and like never having to go to a gas station, like it was like insane. And he was kind of like leading the forefront of it. And not only was it like an electric car, it was an electric car that could fucking drive itself. I know we were all expecting like flying cars in 2020, but like having a car that drives itself was very cool as well. And it had like the big old iPad screen. You can play like Stardew Valley on a Tesla. Like they were goated, and they looked very cool. The design of the Teslas were very cool. So then not only is he like high in the public favor in that way, he got a little bit of street cred for fucking dating Grimes, who was like one of the most goated like indie pop singers of the 2010s. My mutual on Instagram for some reason, which I never understood why. I don't understand why me and Grimes follow each other on Instagram. Never spoken to her. Just happened one day. Anyways, they went to like the Met Gala together, had 3 question mark kids together. 3. Named one of them XEA, like 3. There's like another one named like Techno Maximus. Not gonna get into that. But it basically, he was probably at like peak public favor in like 2018, 2019, and also it just seemed like he really had the fate of humanity in a good place. Like he seemed like he really was taking like a logical approach to a lot of the issues that we had, while also doing things in a cool way. He like had like maybe like a little bit of like a nerdy charm to how he ran his companies. He would like have a rocket accidentally explode, and he'd be like, "Oopsie, LOL," and it was like, "Ha ha 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 ha," and then the horrors came. But before the horrors came, like. Also, to really make him seem like an ethical billionaire, he like announced that he like lived in a $10,000 basically like box, owned like pretty much nothing, like no houses, sold all his houses and shit just to be like as lean as possible. And like then he announced like the Cybertruck, which y'all I pre-ordered in 2019. Because you could pay $100 to pre-order the Cybertruck. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. It looks like it's like from Minecraft. And I did it. And it's so shameful. And it was a deposit. So I need to find a way to get my $100 back. But I did pre-order it. And I'm not kidding. Pre-ordered it in 2019. I got an email a few weeks ago being like, hey, your Cybertruck is ready if you want to pay for the rest. Get the fuck away from me! So... But back then, it was cool. And mind you, the Cybertruck didn't have a good initial launch. It got delayed a bunch of times. They did like a product demonstration where they were like, yeah, it's got bulletproof windows. And then they threw like a brick through it, and the brick went right through that window. But still, like, anyways. And he made things like Starlink, which was like satellite internet that was like a gigabyte per second speed, which was like insane because like you can live in like certain cities in Canada and not even get 20 megabytes per second and pay like $300 a month. Like, it's insane. And then something shifted. I don't know exactly what shifted in his mind. I would love to see the biopic in the future. He starts like distancing himself from Grimes. I think they like broke up technically. And then he sets his eyes on like a new venture, which is Twitter, which is still Twitter. And if you call it X, no, it's not. No, it's not, you little goober. It's called Twitter, you fucking dumbass. And at first, it just kind of seemed like the typical, like, I don't know, like billionaire wants to conquer everything. And like he was very memey. He's like, Doge to the moon, Dogecoin, guys, poggers in the chat. Kind of vibe. And so he buys Twitter for like, I think it was like $50 billion, which is so insane. And his whole goal, if I remember correctly, was to kind of just like remove the guardrails, because Twitter was like a very left-leaning platform. And I guess what he wanted in theory was to make it like not like, to make it centrist and like down the middle, and for free speech, guys, for free speech and all. And so he did that. He removed like a lot of the safety guidelines, fired like, I don't know, what was it, like 75% of the staff. Awesome. My iPad is at 5%. Cool. And obviously, like, in a perfect world, having a social media platform that is completely apolitical and like itself doesn't lean to one side or the other. Whoa, awesome! Except that doesn't happen. Except we have, except I open Twitter and see a person on a train track getting cut in half by a train in India. Whoa, like, so I don't even need to go and explain where Twitter's at as an app and a website, but you know how that shit went. Then I guess personally, he shifted to the right when he endorsed Trump. His claim was that the current administration was a Democrat, so he wanted so supporting a Republican would keep it as center as possible. I feel like he very much was like libertarian vibes, like trying to stay as centrist as possible. That lasted so fucking long. Anyways, then like comes out Grimes hasn't seen her kids in forever, and then you realize, oh wait, he actually has 14 fucking kids. And mind you, now he's starting to like post tweets talking about the woke mind virus, like retweeting like libs of TikTok, all of this this whole can of worms, and which was so crazy because literally 3 years before he would like make tweets being like, if you do not support the LGBTQ, you have no place at Tesla. And now he would probably shoot you with a gun. Anyways, then he's buddy with Trump. Love Donald Trump. They kiss. They fuck. They explore their bodies in sweet, passionate sex behind the scenes, probably. And then Trump wins the presidency of the United States. Woo! And suddenly, Trump announces that Elon Musk will be appointed the head of the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, which they just had to make fucking DOGE because everything's a fucking meme, even if it's the livelihood of the planet. We're going to make it a meme, guys. We're going to make it DOGE. Dogecoin, the little dog from the meme. So in this role, on day one, he starts going into federal agencies and slashing them, just basically digging them out. Now, here's the thing. Is the government probably bloated beyond fucking, like, conscious thought? Yes. There is probably so much spending that happens in the government that does not need to exist. In probably all agencies, I am sure. But if you're really wanting to cut back on like taxpayer spending, maybe don't let the president drive around at the fucking NASCAR finals. Maybe don't let him take his big ass plane back and forth to his personal golf course in Florida every single weekend. Maybe start there. Maybe not start with like federal agencies that are like trying to provide some sort of like infrastructure and aid to other developing countries to like help them fucking develop, and not like fire thousands of employees that are like living in these countries that suddenly have to find a way to like relocate back to the United States. And maybe don't do it with teams of pimply-faced fucking 19-year-olds that are on Discord, screen time 18 fucking hours a day, and going into these government agencies being like, how much do you work? Are you useless? Should you die? And then just firing the whole fucking... So that's what he's up to right now. And now we find ourselves in a cultural... oh, awesome. Just fucking broke my iPhone. Went face down. Cool. We find ourselves in a period of time where Tesla is the most cringe car that you could possibly own. To the point where Tesla dealerships are getting like firebombed and like spray painted. If you have a Tesla and you park that shit on the street, especially a Cybertruck, like people will key that shit. They will spray paint it. Also, Trump had to like literally make the Rose Garden of the fucking White House a bona fide car dealership and park Teslas in front and be like, guys, I'm actually going to buy one of these cars because they're actually awesome. There's this really beautiful quote, or it wasn't a quote, but it was like a headline that I read. I can't remember who wrote this. It was like an opinion piece in like the New York Times or something. But they said, I knew one day I'd have to watch powerful men burn down the world. I just didn't expect them to be such losers. Yep, that part. I think it's probably hard to keep up the charade of being a popular billionaire. I think to some extent, billionaires are aspirational to a certain population because they represent... I don't even need to get into like why someone would like, in theory, want to be a billionaire. To have so much success that you like literally never even need to think about working a day in your life if you don't want to, and you can buy things that shouldn't even be purchasable. Like if you have $1 billion, you could theoretically buy small nations. You could buy, it is mind blowing. I saw something really scary. Maybe I literally talked about this in like a last episode or something, but, it was like some poll or something, but they asked a bunch of kids, like, what do you want to be when you grow up? The classic question, which in the past used to be like astronaut, and then it moved to something worse, influencer, and then it moved to something worse, billionaire. Yes. Kids, more often than not, and like the wide, like the most common answer now is just billionaire. Like not even like a profession, not even like, oh, how did you become billionaire? Like just billionaire, which is so scary. So I think that, most billionaires obviously put a lot of time and effort and probably have entire teams to craft their persona so that they are somewhat likable. You see that happening with like Mark Zuckerberg right now, how he's got the fucking curly hair. He put that chain on. He's going like wakeboarding with the American flag, dressing up as fucking Benson Boone and like performing a song for his wife. Like these are all like careful, calculated, like PR personas to hide the fact that they are scary specimens. But Elon Musk, I feel like was one of the rare cases where he had like an organic fan base for being a billionaire, which is so crazy. And to see someone blow through that so fast I can't think of that like happening in the past. It's like a new phenomenon that we've witnessed. And you might think, why? Like, if you have that much money and you're that loved, why? And when I think of the things that people aspire to get, it's like a triangle. There is fame, there is money, and there is power. And obviously there's like overlap between those three, but he had two of those. He had fame and he had money, but you can't have all three is the thing. And specifically, I think when you're in the mindset of a billionaire and you're thinking about running things like a business, the second you get into power, you are going to become the most nightmarish, twisted person ever. Because here Elon is going into the federal government, which, a lot of the time we see the federal government as like fucking evil, and rightfully so. We fund horrible things. We bomb the fuck out of the Middle East. Our military budget is like trillions of dollars, while there's people who like don't even have like clean fucking drinking water. They're drinking like silicone in their fucking like tap water in like middle America. So when you look at the federal government like that, it's like, oh my God, why would I give a single fuck about this government being gutted? Like, especially like agencies like the FBI, the IRS. Like you would, like most people are probably thinking like, get the fuck, like gut them. But matter of fact, there are parts of the federal government that actually are very crucial, that people rely on, and also just, in the broader sense of things are kind of crucial to mankind. Like the National Park Service is kind of one of those. For example, like in the gutting of the federal government, I read that there is, and you can fact check this, it might be wrong, but there is currently 3, count them, 1, 2, 3, park rangers in all of Yellowstone, which is like, I don't know, one of the biggest fucking national parks in the entire country. I saw an article like Elon Musk begins work on the EPA. Don't even want to hear really what is happening there. Also, like, the National Park Service like took the fucking T out of LGBT. They just made it LGB. That just sounds fucking stupid. Take the B out if we're doing anything there. So really awesome things happening, and I do wonder, because Elon Musk is obviously fallen out of the public favor for people who are anywhere from like center to left of the political sphere, or just have a cringe radar. But I'm calling it now. I'm doing a bit of the week prediction. He's gonna, like, you can start counting his days for his time in the Oval Office, because imagine your like best friend and like pretty much like right hand man in the White House is fucking Elon Musk, the most cringe individual. I literally forgot he did the Sieg Heil fucking twice. Did I say that right? I don't know. I'm not even gonna fucking do the gesture. You know what I'm talking about? Like, and beyond that, just like jumping around like a little fucking buffoon, like like on stage. Count his days, because I think, oh my god, my iPad is at 5%. Awesome, my iPad's at 5%. Cool. I really think he is gonna get thrown out like trash, thrown into a dumpster very soon. I think Trump is going to get very sick of him, which is so funny. Like, the concept of someone being, like, more fucking annoying than Trump, to the point where Trump gets annoyed of them. Holy, like, that's actually comical. I started watching Veep, and it's like, you could airdrop the shit that Elon Musk does into that show, and it would fucking just run just fine. Also, in preparing to make this podcast episode, I did the really pleasant task of watching the 3-hour Elon Musk Joe Rogan interview. I actually did it driving to the caves that I went spelunking in Nevada. It did make me want to slit vertically all the way from my wrist up to my bicep until I passed out and died. It is probably a form of self-harm, but I did watch it all the way through with an open mind, because I was like, I've heard podcasts of him before throughout like the whole gambit of his career, but like I wanted to hear like the most recent, just like what are you up to, Mr. Guy? How are you feeling? What I gathered, and to put myself in his shoes, is this is someone who obviously runs businesses very lean, cuts out any kind of waste, in quotes, like waste, and goes into the government, which is not a company, is the thing that manages the livelihoods and the land that they stand on of 300 plus million people, and is doing the same thing, and probably feels like almost like a hero right now, because on paper, yes, he is probably cutting out a lot of government spending in places that look really good for the people that fuck with Elon Musk. To find that they're spending, what do they say, $20 million on like making mice in Argentina transgender, and they're taking that funding away, that probably feels like a fucking Super Bowl landslide. I just tried to make a sports reference and it didn't work. That probably feels like a fucking home run to that side of the spectrum of the political country. But in reality, it doesn't really matter when the president is crashing the fucking economy instead of doing a recession. And my iPad is at 10% again. So it's really interesting to have witnessed such a spectacular, just fucking cringe speedrun. I don't know how else to put it. And
What is really crazy to me is so many people still are fucking with him. So many people are like Tesla fans till the day they die. And listen, I've mentioned this before. Literally, I think it was like 4 months ago, I did an episode where I was like talking about my unwoke opinions because it was like a fun trend. And one of the things I said was Elon Musk is a net positive for society, because I was like, okay, listen, he's so cringe. He's so like woke as a mind virus like vibe that I was like, okay, yeah. But on the other hand, he has basically popularized the electric car, and at least has his head screwed on when it comes to things like climate change. So him being so buddy with Trump could be maybe a good thing. Maybe something good will come from the train wreck of a human being that is Elon Musk, because maybe he can influence Trump to make sane decisions about how we treat this planet, which in my personal beliefs is probably the biggest fucking like issue that we have to deal with. I know it's easy to like fixate on individual little things that are going on, but when you think about the fate of fucking humanity, it is kind of the planet. It is kind of the fate of our planet that is the most pertinent, I would say. So I had hope. I had silly, naive hope that it would be a good thing that Elon Musk, I was like, maybe he'll change him. Maybe he'll change him. Maybe he can change him, Trump. No, guys, I don't think that's happening. Woo! Isn't that awesome, guys? Isn't that so awesome that we have an unelected billionaire that is just firing thousands of people that are doing like good, like important work that kind of like run the country? Overall, listen, if you are watching this and you love Elon Musk and you voted for Trump and you're here, I want to ask you, do you think it's good that we have someone that is unelected, basically chopping up the government and selling it for parts? Period. I feel like I had more to that, but that's pretty much it. It is kind of crazy that he was not elected. Mind you, they were pretty buddy the entire time Trump was running for president, so it was kind of like a 2-for-1. It was like a package deal, if you will. It's like you buy Trump and you get Elon Musk as a little, it's like when stores like give you like a little gift for free, that they're just trying to fucking get rid of because no one wants it. That's Elon Musk. He's a little free, the freebie, the goodie. He's in the goodie bag. But fear not. I know I made things sound very dark. I do think he is going to supremely embarrass himself in a way that not even like Republicans or the current administration can like look past, and they'll deport him to Canada. How funny, guys. How hilarious would it be if if Elon Musk got deported to like South Africa or Canada? No, imagine this is like if I could like play the little dream strings, Elon Musk gets deported to Canada and then Canada deports him to South Africa. Holy fuck. I could dream. Well, it's okay, guys, it's okay, because he's not gonna be there forever. Same with Trump. Hang in there. You know, times are awesome, guys. Nothing has ever been funnier. I tried to make a joke. I was at this like event and like completely unrelated. Like the host just took the microphone and they were like, "And listen, guys, we know these are really tough times and really dark times, and like what's more important than ever is community and sticking together and looking out for one another, because when we're strong, they won't divide us." And I was like, "Wait, is something going on in the world?" And I like said it really loud as like a joke. Shit did not land, y'all. It's fucking rough out here. So, but truly, hang in there. We'll make it through. Trust. Love y'all. Goodbye.